Welcome back to Off the Rack Rebellion, the podcast where we talk about costuming and how to take everyday finds and incorporate them into your everyday cosplay. Kate, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing, Billy?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, excited. We're less than a month away, right?
I know. I can't believe it. It's
Excited.
it's like one of those things. It's almost like Halloween when I was like, "This is my favorite. I can't wait," but I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to come and be over.
It's
Oh, I'm so stoked.
y- it's bittersweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
Like I'm really looking forward to what we're talking about is Andor. We're
mhm.
we're, we're taking a look at season one, specifically Kenari, as we do our little travel around all of the planets of season one in the run up to season two, and this will probably carry on even after season two because there's a lot to look at, and
Yeah.
we still have some stuff to look at.
We're still obsessed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're still pouring over season one, so you know
Yeah.
it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah. You're gonna be sick of us pretty soon.
Off the
Oh,
Andor Rebellion.
yes. I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, there were so many amazing things to see in that first season, and so, like, each one had a different feel to it, right? Like, each they did a really great job with that, I think, and so you get these different emotions and these different ideas from the different planets and scenarios.
Yeah, I wrote on here it's the second planet we see.
Mm.
Not entirely true. We do see Morlana one.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much the first thing that we see.
True. Yeah.
But it's in the same system. Ferrix is in the Morlana
Oh,
system.
okay.
Morlana one, I guess, is the main planet. We actually don't know. These planets have just now been placed. There was a book that just came
Oh,
out called Star Wars Complete Locations, and they always refresh
wait, I'm writing
this
that down.
book. Yeah, literally just came out a couple of weeks ago. Friend of the pod, the Rick's Cafe.
Oh,
I'm sure he's gonna listen to this. Thanks so much. He did a brand new Insta account where he's just doing these sort of detail shots of all the people on Ferrix and stuff and things that he finds, and it's sort of blink and you'll miss it kinds of things. So the plants that are there, we don't really think about like plants on Ferrix, but there
yeah.
are, and
Yeah.
they're all over the place.
I have to look this
So
up.
he's looking at all of these details. Anyway, he did a post. So he was the one that sort of broke this story to me. But yes, Star Wars Complete Locations is a new book, and I think they do this one. This particular book, I think, has been it keeps getting updated, of course. But
Okay.
Ferrix was never placed. Morlana, like the system, wasn't placed on the map yet. We had no idea where it actually was, and I was always
Okay.
wondering, like, where's Ferrix? Where's
Right.
Kenari in relation to Ferrix? It's got to be close by.
Right.
It's not on this little piece of the map that I can see here, so who knows really
Right.
where it is exactly.
So I'm gonna put it out there that I want Lucasfilm to make an app because I
If
love the books, but I want it, and I'm a non-tech person saying this, but I would love it so that you could, like, move the screen with your hands
Yeah.
and, like, kind of, like, get it at different angles. I don't know. I like, that, app that you have that you can point up at the sky and see the constellations?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that thing, my kid loves that thing. I want it to act like that, but it's the galaxy, like, so please, Lucasfilm, hire someone to make that.
That would be great. I feel like they have all of the information. I feel like something like that would be really easy for them
Right?
to make,
Yeah.
but would be very cool, and also really easy to then update. We wouldn't have to
Yeah,
buy
exactly.
a
Although I
new
know
book
some of us
just to
love
see
our
where
books.
Ferrix is.
Hello,
Yeah.
Ian Grayson, there's the name drop. Like, and it is fun to have, like, these beautiful books, I do love that as well, but sometimes, like, if I'm especially, like, if I'm in my RPG or something like that, and it's like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to tell this story about why I got from here to here, what other plan," and sometimes it's like, I
Right.
would like something that I can actually manipulate with my hands kind of, so, I don't
Right.
know.
And also, like, there's, like, these different sectors on the map. For
Mhm.
instance, like, this is part of the corporate sector, which is, makes sense because the corpos, which
Yeah.
were um, the people that were after, Andor at first before the ISB, was let
Mhm.
loose.
Yeah, the first round of, "Oh, no, I'm in trouble."
Exactly, yeah. He was a corpo, and they're essentially like corporate police, which is like
Mhm.
the police. Let's not
Yeah.
get political.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
They're glorified security guards, like, come on.
Exactly. So this is like the corporate sector, but there's really fun ones as well. When I was writing my backstory, this is sort of outside of what we were talking about, but when I was writing my backstory, I found that um, there's a sort of path where all the agri worlds connect.
Yeah, okay.
So these people that collect goods and fruits and vegetables and whatnot from the agri worlds would travel this route, this
Okay.
hyper lane,
Like
and
the
bounce
Silk
from planet to
Road.
planet.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh my
Bounce
gosh.
bounce from planet to planet, collect things, and then go sell them or trade or whatever. Anyway, so that's
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
my story. But so anyway, Kenari,
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
planet
back
we
to
see.
Canary, the one planet we're talking about
So something
today.
has happened. We don't know. It hasn't been explored. We don't know if
Mhm.
exactly what happened, but we do get like some glimpses of what might have happened.
Mhm.
This is what I'm dubbing a cash poor but mineral rich planet that has been
Mhm.
exploited
Yep.
and probably exploited many times over by many different sort of people in power. We don't really know the story of Kenari, but I would venture a guess that the Republic probably was on there because of
Mhm.
the scientists that we see that sort of crash on Kenari, I think
Mhm.
are Republic.
Okay.
They're
Mhm.
not actually imperial. So, this is a planet that's been exploited. But
Yeah.
I was wondering where it is because it's also a sort of blue collar. It's another blue
Mm.
collar planet.
Okay.
It's a mining town rather than a
Yeah.
manufacturing town or a
Yeah.
scrapping town. Um, so there are similar colors to Ferrix, and it sort
Mhm.
of makes sense, right? The oranges and things like that. Aside from like the rebel pilots, we never we associate orange with like Star Wars, but it's
We do.
really hasn't been used as much as
Mhm.
it's been used on Ferrix, and it makes sense because these people are doing dangerous jobs, so it's
Yeah.
high visibility. Like
Yeah.
if something happens to fall on them or rubble gets on them, it's easy to find
Yeah.
an orange
It's rusty
jacket.
and dirty, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So similar color to Ferrix, both blue collar mining planets. So we
Mhm.
don't see any of those people, right? All we see is the kids.
Mhm.
What's your take on that? Like, what do you know?
Oh, it was very Space Lord of the Flies, right?
It is. It
It
is.
was
It
very,
is.
like, every parent's worst nightmare, honestly. Um, but yeah, I was always like, did did they crash? Was it like they were trying to leave and then there was a crash? Or yeah, was there
Mhm.
some sort of natural disaster? Was there some sort of illness, like, during like, yeah, what happened?
I think, like, because of the fact that there's only kids left, I think it
Mhm.
had to have been a job site
Oh,
mishap,
yeah,
right?
okay. Sure, like a plant exploded or something, like, we
Something
don't or
because
a mine collapsed.
it would
Yeah,
have wiped out all of the adults
all the
and then
adults.
left just these kids, and how long
Every
have they been
parent's worst
there?
nightmare.
Like,
Mhm.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, it was a really interesting it was like, "Oh, wow." This it's an interesting social experiment to have dropped into Star Wars, you know?
It's
Like,
completely open too. I mean,
mhm.
they've opened up this little, like, story there that who knows
Mhm.
when it'll be told or if it'll ever be told, but there's a story there, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And they maybe could weave it into other planets that have
Mhm.
been exploited and
Yeah.
and ravaged.
Yeah, we could see
But
more people with, like, the resistance that their story is, "Oh, I, was one of these
exactly,
kids," or something like that.
exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, Snip Sabers, like, part of her story is like an environmental story, which I always thought was
Oh,
like
yeah.
great. Um, and that's sort of how she joined the fight, that there was like an environmental disaster that happened on her home planet, brought on by the Empire. So that's where
Yeah.
her
I love
rage
that.
comes from, which is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got here the kids were left after whatever environmental disaster happened,
Mhm.
and then fashioned their clothes from what they could scavenge, which is why everything is sort of bigger sized
Mhm.
or cinched with cord.
Yeah.
It's kind of just cobbled together beautifully. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Expertly by the
I
costuming
mean,
department.
yeah, exactly. Because the matching of colors. I mean,
Oh,
when you're
those
scavenging
kids,
stuff, it's
they
not
have such
really.
a great eye for detail. My kid would
I
just go
know.
naked, like, first of all, like, he would be
I
like,
just
if
love that they were like, "I need some more chartreuse. Can we
yeah, yeah,
trade
can I like,
jackets so that,
this really goes better with
the"
your skin tone, could we yeah.
But yeah, there's a detail of, Casa, as he was known, of
Mhm.
Cassian's boots, which are kind of like they almost don't look like boots, they almost look like just shearling wrapped around their feet. They look very,
Oh, right.
sort of primitive. I think they're just larger,
They
shearling lined
do.
boots, and
Yeah,
they're
and it looks like there's,
cinched.
like, some rags stuck in
Yeah.
it maybe. Yeah, uh-huh.
To make them fit, yeah, because it doesn't seem like a terribly cold planet. It just seems
Yeah.
like he's stuffing that stuff in there so that they would fit,
Yeah, so
and
they
then
would fit.
cinching them with the cord.
Yeah.
And then there's a quote here that, or just a little blurb from the um, costuming department, that in an effort to reflect the Kenari's tribe's circumstances, costume designer Michael Wilkinson envisioned that the children crafted their clothing by using natural elements as well as chopping up and repurposed remnants and cast off uniforms left behind by their parents. Where are the
Mm.
parents? The
Northerners.
costumes were made to look like a primitive mix of workwear the kids
Yeah,
customized with feathers, beads, trinkets, and elements they forged from the urban environment. These
yeah.
details were meant to create a mixture of modern industry with organic jungle cultures.
It's like space
Textures,
Lost
sorry.
Boys,
Yeah,
like the Lost Boys
it
in
is.
Neverland. Like, so fantastic.
And, looking on here, it's a lot of the same colors. That's why
Mhm.
it matches so well to
Yeah,
Ferrex. We don't see any other planet do this except for these 2, and it's that same palette of these, like,
yeah.
um, earth tones, these
Mhm.
natural tones, but also with, like, this chartreusey
Yeah.
yellow, green, and
Mhm.
oranges.
And you can see several articles repeated. There's that
Mhm.
orange safety vest that you see several
Yep.
kids wearing different ways. You see several kids wearing that, like it looks like a waffle knit to me that, Casa has on, right? I see
Underneath,
several
yeah.
yeah, I see several other kids
They look
have
like
that.
thermals almost.
Thermals, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then, even that chartreuse looks like a chartreuse puffy, right? You
Mhm.
see some kids kinda, like, wearing part of it, like, over one shoulder. You see that Cassian has, like it has a vest, like, there's
Mhm.
different ways that people are there's some that have a long sleeve, so originally, some of them looked like they had sleeves. I love, like, the range of how that one article or these individual articles are being used. That's
And how
fantastic.
they're being used for, like, the different ages of kids too, because
Yeah,
sometimes you see the same garment and, like, there's, like, this little girl who has this, like, some kind of, like, smock kind of poncho, situation, and it's, like,
yeah,
down to her
totally.
shins, but then someone right next to her looks like is wearing the same thing, and it's, like, it
Mhm,
finishes just below their waist, a
mhm.
much older, kid, or is that Cassian? I think that might
That's
be Cassian.
Cassian, yeah. Isn't that his are we giving out spoilers for season 1?
Well,
Wait,
yeah, 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 yeah. That's his sister,
I think that's
right?
his sister, yeah,
Yeah,
who I am like,
yeah.
this is the biggest thing I'm waiting for in season 2. I'm like, "What happened to his sister?"
Oh, I don't know if we're gonna
Um,
get that.
oh, we're just there's never gonna there's like, she's
I
out there,
don't
he's
think
looking for
so.
her, we're never gonna get it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get that. I
Cliffhanger,
think
yeah.
that I think there was a resolve there. I think
Oh, was
he's
there? I
realized that
don't remember
she's
that.
dead.
I'll
Yeah,
have to go back and look at that because I missed that
yeah,
part somehow. But yeah, I do love that, like, we're seeing yeah, some kids have them more wrapped, some kids have them more these older kinda teens, it's definitely more like a regular top that we're seeing.
yeah.
I love this one gal that we see, and she's got it just on, it's almost like hers is cut in half, and she shared it with
Yes,
somebody or
just
something
the
like that.
collar.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's just the one side, and then she's got a sling over that. That is a great look, actually. I
Yeah,
need
because
to
she
start
kept
doing
just
that.
the collar, and then it's cut in
Oh,
half
yeah, I see what, yeah,
diagonally.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, these are so
Yeah,
cool.
she's like it seemed like from the scenes that we get that she was sort of a de facto like leader.
Yeah,
'Cause
mhm.
she's the one that went out and
Yeah.
poked the bear
Yes.
of that ship that crash landed.
Oh,
And like,
man,
what's up with that ship? Like, why were they?
uh-huh,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
there's so much mystery. I wonder if they're ever gonna come back and explore this.
Yes. Yeah, 'cause this could
Which
be an interesting show. I mean, it would be darker than
yeah,
Skeleton Crew, but
yeah.
it could be, again, like, Lord of the
It could
Flies,
be
but
something
Star
that
Wars style.
ends with this, like,
Yeah,
ends with them seeing the ship, crashing, because that's the
yeah,
first thing that we see is them watching that ship
yeah,
crash.
yep. Like the
Um,
Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, it would be like the Young Cassian Andor Chronicles, like,
I think it'd be
give it to
funny
us.
if they keep telling, an Andor story by prequels. They just
Like,
keep going further back and then
yeah, like,
getting
let's
right
explore his
up to the
lineage, right?
beginning.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars is you can branch out in so many
You
directions,
can
right?
fill in those blanks.
I am wanting to make some of these funky necklaces that they are wearing because these are
Yeah.
amazing.
There's really I wish we would see more. There's such a treasure trove
Yeah,
of stuff in these short scenes. If you have to go to that Cap That,
yeah,
um,
I do.
and
I've
because
used it
that's
for
where I got
other
all these
movies.
stills.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I've used it for other movies. Also, dear Lucasfilms, just let us into your, like, I don't know, what do you have, like, a costume warehouse or something? I would just
The vault.
can we just walk through that, please? Like, that is my life goal. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it would
Like,
be you know what it would be?
mhm,
It would be a warehouse with, like, just racks and racks and
just
racks of clothes, yeah,
yeah, yeah, I just want
and they
I wanna
yeah.
see these textures up close, you know what I mean? Like, I wanna know, like,
Did
wow.
I ever show you that video that was going around? I forget who sent it to me, but, um, I feel like it's like but there's no words in it, but it's a sort of it's not even a behind the scenes,
Okay.
it's a production video of Andor. So you get to see, like, um
I don't know, send it to
you
me
get to
again.
see, like, the drawings, you get to see,
Okay.
like, these racks of clothes, like, that
Yes.
I'm talking
Oh
about,
my
like, you get to see
god.
all of that stuff,
Yeah, I need to
for
see.
season 1.
Yes.
Now, Kenari was the very first thing that I ever, like, emulated.
Oh,
When the
okay.
trailer came out, and I just looked this up, July 5th of 2022. Okay,
Oh, we were
this is
babies.
6 months before the very first Ferrex Friday, like,
Wow.
this is the very first thing that
Origin
I ever
stories.
emulated. Yeah, was a Canary look, and it's because I
Wow.
did a shot for shot spoof of the
Oh, I
Andor
remember that.
trailer.
I remember that.
What's called, like, sweeting, sweeting it, like, I used,
I'm
like, a little toy, ship
oh,
that, that flew past, like,
yep.
a plant that I had to make it look like it was flying through trees, crashing, and then it's me sort of standing up, and I did you know what I did? I did a tan thermal, Hanley,
Oh, mhm, mhm.
underneath an orange, vest, and
Yep.
there we go. Here it is.
There you
Now,
go. Yeah,
here we
you
are,
don't need
what,
much.
3 years later?
Yeah. Yes, I love it. Beat those thermals up, like, that's another great thing you can find secondhand,
Oh,
folks,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
find those secondhand thermals and beat them up, and they look
So,
good.
yeah,
I love
Kenari
it.
was the very this is what gripped me when I saw that. When I saw it, I was like, what is this?
I love it.
What is it? What are these people? Why are they all kids?"
Okay, so I'm also gonna put this out there that I want a Burgundy Squadron camping trip where we emulate this style.
Okay.
I know not everyone's into camping, but I know Liam and I keep being like, "But we could go camping."
Liam, yeah, he would be the one.
We're the 2 outdoor rec kids. We're like, "Oh, yeah, can we get in the mountains, please?" But I mean, like, how funny would that be? To be like,
I think it would be
"Bring your
hilarious.
Kenari look. We're gonna, like, do a Kenari photo shoot."
I've got
Love it.
one.
I know you're ready, you're ready. I've got a chartreuse coat, and actually now I'm thinking I was gonna get rid of it, but now I might repurpose it and beat it up. Like, kinda
Cut
like
it up,
I
see what you
this
can
one
make
gal
with
that's got just a half the coat, I'm like, "Did I love that." I might do that. Oh my god, I'm gonna take a screenshot, hang on, you'll hear it. There we go. Yeah,
I could send you these, yeah.
I'm reminding
Um,
myself of this one
yeah.
because I have this, month-long Star Wars Disney Bound challenge coming up, so
Oh, right, right,
I
right.
gotta
Also, like,
really
there's, like, face paint. Some of these kids have face paint, but I think
Yeah.
that just might be a Lord of the Flies
Yeah, yeah.
situation happening. I don't think it's part of their culture or
Well
anything. I think
oh,
they've just
yeah.
gone feral.
And I mean,
Mm.
like, my siblings and I and the neighbor kid, like, we're one step away from this every summer, I feel like. Like, our parents were there, but we weren't inside the house all day, we were out in the woods and some trees, you know
Feral
what I mean?
feral
Like,
children.
very
Yeah.
feral children. Yeah, the '90s were a beautiful time. And so, like, that last century, back in the day. I
Back
feel
in the
like I
1900s.
literally remember smashing up some sandstone rocks that were different colors and trying to make face paint out of them, guys. Like, I
Okay,
literally
wow.
remember because 'cause we're like, "This
Okay.
one's more purple and this one's more red, and what if happens if we smash them and mix them with water?" This is how I, like, grew up. Yeah, for sure. So I can totally see these kids being like,
Yeah, like,
"We've
have
been
you
in the
ever
woods
played the
for a
game
while."
have you ever played the game throwing rocks,
Oh,
people? You remember that
yeah.
game,
Well,
throwing rocks, where you just threw rocks at each other? Yeah.
we didn't throw rocks at people. We had, like, because there was a pond, so it was, like, a lot of, like, a lot of skipping stones or because we grew
Yeah.
up next to a lake and next to a pond that were across the street from each other, so it was, like, large bodies of water, lots of possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we threw snowballs at each other a lot. That was, Michigan. Like oh, man. Yeah, this is just
So
definitely, like, diving into these and getting the details. There's this one photo of this kid, and he's got kinda reminds me of your pack, Billy, like that round one.
oh, yeah.
Can you see the
Oh.
kid? He's in the orange vest behind the gal with the half vest in this one photo. He's got, like,
Oh,
a dancer if
yeah.
you zoom in on his hip, it's hanging there, and it's what is it? It's, like, crocheted in, like, some cordage, right? Some green cordage, but it
Yes.
reminds me of that pack,
Or is
right?
that
Is that
yeah,
it?
is no, no, I'm just
Is
wondering if that's, like no, it's yeah, it is a bag, right? I was like,
yeah,
is
it
are they
looks
just
like a bag.
carrying a log and a netted
Or
thing?
maybe it's a beat up, um, HCU,
Tube?
hydro containment unit, maybe
Ah,
it's a beat up water bottle. Yeah, it
right.
could be, but it very much reminds me of your pack.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah.
good eye. I
Yeah, like,
hadn't
I
seen
kinda
this
wanna do
one.
that, and that's where you just take paracord and you, like, do the knots around it, right? And you, like,
Mhm.
make the netting around it. Yeah. Like, this is just another great idea of something that you could add to a denizen look, right? Like, something like that.
Yeah, because, they don't yeah, you don't always have to be, scavenger. I'm sorry, you don't always have to be a smuggler
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
to be a
totally, like,
denizen. You could
you
literally just be a farmer,
yeah,
a planet
yeah,
inhabitant. You could
yeah.
be just a person.
Oh, man, this one kid too, and then on the other side, that's just climbing rope slung across his shoulder. I think that's
Yeah.
made by Metolius. I think I've had that climbing rope before, you know what I mean? I'm just like
I see it, yeah,
I love
with
that, the blue
with
and
the
the, like
dashes, yeah.
yep, mhm, that's just a piece of discarded climbing rope, which is always like, what do you do with your old climbing rope? People would make rugs out of them, and it was like, how many rugs can we have really? Because we've got a lot of old rope. I love that.
Yeah, and I'll post all of these, but, like, zooming in, like,
Yeah.
all the things that they have hanging, which seem like
Yes.
they're different little lanterns and,
Yeah, and there is
um
definitely one is definitely like, it looks like a jug, right? Right next to the kid
mhm,
with the climbing rope. Yeah.
mhm. And
Yeah.
then, like, sort of in the foreground, out of focus, there's just these rings that are hanging, which
Mhm.
look like it might be like a wind chime or some kind
Mhm.
of
Some
they could
old
use this as
discarded gears,
security or
right?
something, yeah,
Right.
that would move if
That's the
somebody came around the
oh,
corner.
man. That's the other thing I used to do as a kid. So, like, my family's farm, hang on, let me think back. My great-grandfather was born there, so my second great-grandfather started it. So it had been around a long time. There's a scrap metal pile. like, behind one of the barns where it was like, when something
Nice.
broke on a piece of machinery, they would just toss it back there and sometimes reuse it, sometimes not. And my brothers and I would comb through it and just find interesting pieces, and then we had a tree fort, and we would hang them in the tree fort like this. And so it was like, sometimes they were just decorations, sometimes they were like, "Oh, that's our burglar alarm," like, whether it worked
Cool.
or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
But, like, yeah, that definitely reminds me of stuff I used to pick up on the farm all the time. I love it. So cool.
Yeah, this stuff is like I'm now like because I posted these in the doc a while ago now,
Yeah,
so I haven't
and I'm
really
just
looked at
starting
them in a
zooming
while, and
in,
I'm like
yeah.
zooming in, and I'm like, oh wow, wait,
Yeah.
what about all of these sort of just environmental things and
And I
textural
love that
scenery things?
they did this. I mean, like, there's so much depth on each one of these kids. There's so much detail. It's
Hmm.
just such a rich scene. And I love thank you, thank you, Lucasfilms for doing that, right? It's like, I love that.
I'm actually obsessed with his
Amazing.
little sister's sort of smock poncho thing with the big
Yes.
pocket in the front.
Right?
I just want to live in one of those
That does look
always.
cozy. It looks so nice, actually. Yeah, could someone start making those, please? We gotta if you find
It's
who's
not
making
even
them,
that hard.
oh,
Like
no, it's not. Yeah,
it's
totally.
not even that
It's got some
hard.
quilting, which would be maybe the hardest part,
Right.
just time consuming, but, it yeah, it definitely wouldn't
But
be
the
that
shape of it itself, like, it's literally like
Oh,
a
yeah.
U cut out of a yard of fabric.
Yeah, totally. I will
It's,
screenshot
that
this.
shape, like, it looks like there's, like, a shape that goes in, but I think that's just her arms pressing down on it. I think
I
it's a
think so.
rectangle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's cinched by that webbing too, right? So,
Yeah.
like yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm screenshotting this.
There's so much, like,
Planning out my
because on CapThat, you can go literally frame by frame.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
these were there's so there's not much
I will be
of
going.
Kenari,
Yeah, we don't see a ton of it, but
and this is where we do see the costumes the clearest, but
yeah.
they're you could definitely see the backs of them and things like that if you go frame
Yeah.
by frame, especially on the some of the wider shots when they're looking down at the crash.
Mhm.
There's some good, shots of the groups of them. There's also like, they have these like blow darts and things
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. So they've gone completely feral. There's some really like beautiful detailing on the blow darts as well.
Oh, man.
Um, yeah, this is completely Lord of the Flies.
I
They've
love
gone
it.
completely feral and started making weapons, and I'm sure somehow, I mean, somehow they're surviving.
Yeah, yeah, right? Like, kids are kids are resilient for sure.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Our kid we were at my husband's best friend's birthday party a few years ago out east, and he had, like, this big, like, yoga ball in the yard. There was, like, a ton of kids, and they were running around and having a great time, and there's this big yoga ball that they had been bouncing back and forth, and our kid grabs a fork off of the table and runs up, jumps on it, and shakes it, like and we all saw it and just go, and then started cracking up, and, like, his best friend is like, "Well, he's gonna be fine if he ends up on an island on his own," and we're like, "Clearly," and we're like, "Where did he learn that?"
It's the fearlessness,
It's the
of
fearlessness.
being the
Don't let the
fearlessness
kid
of
near a
youth.
fork, oh my god. So, yeah, kids, they're rough. They can handle things. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
this is
They
awesome.
don't know any different, I think
Yeah,
that's
they don't.
really
They're
the
very much
yeah.
I'm always like, they're not quite human. They're still kinda animals, and we're trying to guide them towards these,
Right,
like, social norms, which make up what it is to be human, right? Like, if you take
right.
these concepts away of the society has been like, "Well, you should do this, but you shouldn't do that," we're just animals, right? So, children are
Absolutely.
very raw like that. I love it. I used to work in schools and with kids, and so I'm like, "Uh-huh, yeah, you
Yeah,
you all could take over the world if we left you to your own devices, I think."
yeah.
Oh,
What a
so
mystery
cool.
though, yeah, but good point, like, I don't know if we're ever going to get a
Yeah.
full resolution on that. I think it was
Mm.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I think it was telegraphed. I think the fact that
Okay.
he's been searching for his
Yeah, for
sister
so long. It's
for
kind of a lost
so
cause deal.
long,
Yeah.
but continues to, I think is part of his, like, resolve, it's part of his
Yeah.
trauma, it's part of
Yeah.
his, like, part of his story, and, I think the fact that he's never found her, and it's sort of a little bit telegraphed that he's never
Mhm.
going to
Mhm.
find her, you
Yeah,
know?
that maybe something else happened then after
Yeah.
he, yeah, had left, like, they didn't all make it, yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting to, like, just geographically to know where Kenari is in
Mhm.
relation to Ferrix and in relation to Morlana
Yeah.
1, because why would he go to Morlana 1 looking for his sister unless it's all very close by,
Right.
you know?
Right. Totally. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's a story to be told. Maybe it'll be,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a comic book or something. I'm sure
Yeah.
something will come out after
Yeah,
season 2.
novel or something.
Yeah,
That'd be nice. Mhm.
and,
Yeah.
it might
Dear
not be on
Lucasfilms.
screen, but it
Yeah.
will be, yeah.
Yeah. I would settle for that. I would totally settle.
I'd
Yeah.
settle for a
Right?
comic, something with
Yeah.
visuals, I'd settle for that.
Totally. Yeah. I love it. Well, oh, yeah, Kenari was such a great revisit. I love that. I think that there's a lot that folks could glean from this.
Yeah, it's also just like a completely sort of different look. It's very
Mhm.
similar to Ferrix
Mhm.
in color palette, but it's
Yeah.
very different as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is really interesting from a costuming standpoint to try to make 2 different things out of the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if also that decision was made to, subconsciously visually blend the entire
Yeah,
show, right? Like,
yeah,
you're like, "Well, we want this kind of uniform look, but yet we need these very different environments and situations. How do we portray that?" I think that
right.
that's really, really amazing.
And maybe somewhere where it's also, like, comfortable for him as well to grow
Mhm.
up somewhere
Oh,
that
yeah.
feels the same,
Yeah.
with this working class, group of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that he could
Um
just step into it, and that's
Mhm.
his life now. Yeah, I could see that, definitely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for season 2.
It's gonna be great. It's
Ah,
gonna be amazing. It's
it'll be
gonna be
so
amazing.
good.
Tony Gilroy is coming for us. That's what
Oh
he's gonna give.
gosh. I know, I know. Gosh.
He's like, "I'm gonna make you cry," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, okay, I'm ready. I'm
Okay, Tony.
ready.
Whatever you say.
I'm ready." But I'm very excited for it. Yeah. But
Oh,
bittersweet, again, we were talking about
mhm.
that. It's bittersweet. I'm
Yeah,
sad that it's over, but I'm happy that we're getting more of it.
yeah.
Yeah,
That does open up the, window for just totally binging. Like, when you're in the mood, you're
yeah,
like, "I just need some Ferrix," and you just, like,
yeah.
binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, because I find, like, we'll get into this into our
mhm.
favorites,
Yeah.
our next episode. Um, but yeah, we should get into
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah, let's get
but
into
yeah,
alright, well,
there's some
Billy,
favorite
where
moments,
can
yeah.
folks find you?
I'm at Billy Maddox, search for me everywhere that way. I'm on Instagram, Billy Maddox,
Yeah,
and then you can find my links there to everywhere, Blue Sky,
perfect.
TikTok, all that stuff.
Yep. Awesome. I didn't know you're on
What about
TikTok.
you?
Okay. Alright, I
I
am
do,
Kate
but it's
Ryder.
yeah.
I'm too old to understand it. Alright. So, I'm Kate Ryder. I'm at One Scavenger's Wardrobe on Instagram. I am just one scavenger over on Blue Sky. I'm very quiet there still as well, but I'll be working on that. As always, thank you to the Dad Batch crew for hosting us and their little family of shows, and for Rami for being in the background as our producer. Just remember that a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away can be right here and right now.